Hi, and welcome to The Curling Show, the podcast that brings you interviews with the sport's top athletes and the people who shape the game. Brought to you by Fit to Curl, a sport-specific guide to training for the world's greatest game by 2010 Olympic gold medalist and Team Martin third, John Morris, with some help from me, Dean Gemmell. Buy a copy of the book for yourself or for the curler on your holiday gift list at fittocurl.com or your favorite pro shop. Before we get started, a quick word about this edition of The Curling Show. It was recorded at the first Capital One Grand Slam of the season and will be followed by some video interviews that should be posted later this week. Enjoy. He's a semifinalist at the first Capital One Grand Slam of the season, the 2011 Great Power, the GP Car and Home World Cup of Curling. Niklas Edin of Sweden, welcome to The Curling Show.
Thank you very much.
It's a good run for your team here in the Sault. I realize you'd probably like to win a Capital One Grand Slam, but you have to be fairly happy with this result.
Oh yeah, this was way better than expected actually. We've had some trouble with injuries and illnesses before this event, so huge surprise we could go this far, but so happy we pulled it off.
What kind of injuries and illnesses?
Knee surgery this summer and then some pneumonia and stuff like that, and some small injuries coming in the way for training late this summer, so going into this event we didn't really know what to expect, but turned out we were playing about as good as we did last year, so happy about that.
Knee surgery for you?
Yeah.
Oh really? What kind of knee surgery?
The meniscus, had to sew it back together.
Always the meniscus, isn't it? Hey, talk about Mark Shirk's Capital One Grand Slam ice. How different is it than the kind of ice you might play on typically in European events?
It's not even comparable. It's so much better. It's not even the same sport. It's totally different things that matters on this kind of ice. You need to be so much more precise, and you need to make all the shots and difficult ones against teams here. In back home in Europe, it's a lot more of a defensive game, and you need to keep it simple to make those shots.
That said, you guys at times do keep it fairly simple against some of the teams like Kevin Martin. You keep it fairly simple, maybe look for opportunities. That is a strategy you think about when you go into games against those guys?
Yeah, we pretty much had to. We were not playing that well before that game, so we kind of figured we need to keep it fairly simple and need to keep it tight as long as we can, and then make some good shots at the end, and hopefully that'll be enough.
You have a pretty busy schedule coming up over the next few weeks. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we go home after this event now for 6 days, and then go back to Brantford. So that'll be another Atlantic Ocean trip. And then after that, we'll go back for the national back home, and then the Europeans 2 days after that. And from there, straight to the second Grand Slam, and then go home 3 days before Christmas.
Not a bad life of curling, though. I think a lot of guys would probably take it. Hey, we don't see a lot of the European teams except for the upper cut, the top cut. Is there a team out there that we don't see much over here in Canada that you think is ready to break through at some point?
Probably Team Brewster from Scotland. They've been playing really well this season, and last season they got the silver medals at Worlds. I think that's they've got the best form at the moment in Europe.
Although they did lose to Dave Murdoch recently. What do you think of his new lineup?
He's got a good team as well. I think it's a fairly new lineup, and they need some time. I think Murdoch has been playing with Ewan McDonald and his boys for a long time, and I think they need some time to adjust to this new team, but they will be a good team with some time.
Yeah. We've got Marco from Finland back in the mix, and Thomas Olsrud's team seems to be struggling a little bit right now. Are the Finns now the team for you to beat for the Scandinavian Championship? Not that you play it.
No, I don't think so. They've got a good team coming up as well, but they haven't played for that long, the Finnish guys, except for Marco, of course. But Ulster is always the team to beat in Europe. I think they're the most consistent team, and they haven't had the best of a start this season, but they'll be really good for the Europeans.
All right, your coach, Per Lindholm, Swedish legend. But when you look at him, do you rely on him for his coaching advice or for his fashion advice?
He's actually just a national coach, so to this trip he's just following us to see what the Grand Slam events are like, and he's trying to improve all of Swedish curling, not just our team. It's 5 teams in the national squad, and he helps all of those teams out and helps everybody that has with Swedish curling to do.
I think most people wouldn't realize it. You have 5 teams in a national team program?
Yeah.
And five men's teams or 5 men's and women's teams?
2 men's teams and 3 women teams. Yeah.
Hey, we talked a bit about the ice here, but what are the other big differences when it comes to playing major events over here in Canada for your team?
The competition, the good teams that play in this event. But if you go at an event like Brooks, that go in a curling rink, it's pretty much the same teams and it's the same ice maker, but it's still a huge difference. This ice is so much better than anything else, so it's not really comparable. All the events that goes in curling rinks, it's a totally different feeling. You
prefer this ice, though. A guy like David Murdoch actually I seem to sense he doesn't really like it all that much.
I think you need a different kind of technique on this kind of ice as well. So it kind of suits those teams that adjusted to this kind of ice. You need more rotation on the handle and more positive release and tighter slide lines and a lot of stuff like that really matters. And if you try to use this technique back home, you would never be able to come around the guard. So you need to be adjustable and change your technique when you come here. The teams that play on this ice a lot gets better at it.
You think they'll improve the ice in Europe, get more like this?
They're trying to. They've been trying to for a lot of years, but it's a lot of knowledge that you need to see these ice makers from Canada and talk to them and see what they're doing with the ice and try to do the same back home. And they're getting there, but it's still a long way to go.
All right, Niklas, we finish with a run back. I give you a topic. You give me your thoughts in 1 to 3 words. Team Ulsterud's pants.
Beautiful.
That taped up broom Mike McEwen uses.
I don't even know what it is.
I don't know what it is either. It's a crazy broom. The possibility of Greece exiting the Eurozone.
Oh, small.
Too early for that after a late night, I think. Ben Hebert.
Funny guy.
National Sandwich Day.
Never heard of it.
Tim Hortons coffee versus Swedish coffee.
Swedish coffee all day.
Glug.
Sweet.
And fake Kevin Martin on Twitter. Do you follow that?
Yeah, funny guy.
Thanks, Niklas. Appreciate your time. Good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you very much.
That's Niklas Edin on The Curling Show. Follow me on Twitter for curling updates and observations, sometimes funny and sometimes funny only to me, at Dean Gemmel with a cap D and a cap G, no spaces. And before the holiday food gets the better of you or the curlers in your life, pick up a copy of Fit to Curl by John Morris, available at fittocurl.com and at Better Pro Shops. As always, thanks for listening. Enjoy some black pudding.